you're known as the cyclone man of India. Now, why is that? Because your nature is very cyclonic, or you did some work on cyclones? What is that about?
Yeah, my nature is not cyclonic. And in 2008, first cyclone ward which came to Sri Lanka in December 2008, I gave a forecast similar to Joint Warning Center forecast, showing the track of the cyclone, intensity of the cyclones, where it will hit, at what time it will hit. All these details were given in text and graphics format. So that was the beginning of the 2020, as expected by Dr. Shailesh Naik, then Secretary, Minister of Earth Sciences. He asked me to write the Vision 2020 for cyclone.
Which year was that?
It was 2010.
2010.
So it was published in 2010. Then I again updated in 2015, then again 2020. Now recently, when Honorable Prime Minister dedicated Vision 2047, that was prepared, with all people of course supporting. Now if the cyclone moves slowly, say 10 kilometers per hour, now it will take, instead of 3 hours, 5 hours. So therefore the slow moving cyclone, which has been the characteristics because of the impact of the climate change in recent decades, will have more devastating impact along the coastal areas with the same intensity of the cyclone, because it will cause more rainfall, it will cause more storm surge, and also the same wind speed will continue for 5 hours instead of 3 hours. So we give the current status of the tropical cyclones or depressions, and its expected movement, expected intensity, at what time it will hit the coast, with what intensity, what will be its impact in terms of the wind, impact in terms of the storm surge, rainfall, etc. All this guidance is provided, but warning we do not issue, because warning issuance is the responsibility of the concerned state. For this purpose, we have got the models. For example, we have got around more than 10 models are utilized during cyclone period, and these models are run in the morning and evening, sometimes 4 times. And we have come up with a multi-model ensemble forecasting system, which is a consensus system. And we have got our own multi-hazard early warning decision support system. It is completely indigenous.
So I also have heard, and you once called me to a function where that booklet was released, that in this country we will not know at what time and date to do Holi, Diwali, Eid, Bakri. So there is something that IMD has to got to do with it. Please tell us about
Yes,
that.
you reminded me. Many people might not be knowing the positional astronomy is the science, and it is a very old science in our country. And Indian Meteorology Department is responsible for that. We have a positional astronomical center.
So you've explained very well to us the monsoonal system, the heat situation, so the heat and rain, basically what constitutes climate change. You explained that, but I'd like to go back to the concept of cyclones. So cyclones in India, I mean, you're known as the cyclone man of India. Now, why is that? Because your nature is very cyclonic, or you did some work on cyclones? What is that about?
Yeah, my nature is not cyclonic. Yeah, certainly the story goes like this. I was a 6-year-old child when a very intense cyclonic storm hit Odisha coast near Paradip, and it moved northeastwards across Jagatsinghpur, Kendrapada, Bhadrak district, Balasore, and then went towards. So these districts of North Odisha, coastal Odisha, were mostly affected. 10,000 people died at that time. At that time, I was just 6 years old, therefore I was going to school.
Which year was that?
1971.
71.
Yeah. So actually, like any other child, I was not willing to go to school. Everybody wants to play, nobody wants to go to school. So I was happy that school is closed today. But my father, in the morning, he went outside for daily walks to the end of our village, and he found that very massive tidal waves are approaching the village. So he came back. He did not come to our house. He came to the backside. He knocked on the window and told all of us, all of you should go off into the first floor. First floor means it is not a Pakka building. It is a mud building. In coastal Odisha, in coastal West Bengal, you can find out there will be mud house with another floor at the top with the bamboo support or the wooden support like that. So it is made like this because the coastal Odisha is prone for all these natural disasters like floods and cyclones. So we went outside, but we went top, and my father went from house to house to tell people that all of you please come to our house, because in saline water is inundating our area, so please come. So you cannot believe within hour or two about 300 people came, and in our Mohapatra that three houses are interconnected, and all the people were staying, and people were praying, people were crying, and they were drenched. There was no food for the whole day. In the evening we came back and we found that nothing is there. Everything is devastated. Many people lost their lives, 10,000 people lost their lives, and my mother and auntie, they prepared the rice. We are all rice eaters. For the last time we took the rice. After that there was no rice, because in the month of October 29, 1971, rice was in harvesting stage. It was completely destroyed. So entire population was deprived of rice. Of course, food for war program came, and we took rice after 1 year. That was the memory which was in my mind. Perhaps that memory saved my career in cyclone forecasting when I joined India Meteorology Department, and I was asked to come to Delhi to lead cyclone forecasting.
Okay.
Perhaps it was the luck decided at that time.
So you worked on the cyclone subject for now how many years?
So I was associated with the cyclone in 1999, Odisha super cyclone, when I was stationed in Bhubaneswar, and then
That's when
my journey continued.
super cyclone.
Odisha super cyclone, and then when I came here in 2007, so at that time I was given the responsibility. The then secretary took a review meeting in Ashoka Hotel. So former DG Dr. K. Ramesh was advisor to him, and here the then DG Dr. R.C. Bhatia, he asked me to give the presentation on cyclone. I was new. I told, sir, I am new and young. There are so many senior persons. No, you give the presentation. So I took that opportunity. I prepared my homework and took a benchmarking. I find out what is happening in different parts of the globe. And I found that National Hurricane Center is the best center at that time.
National which one?
National Hurricane Center in USA, Miami, USA.
Okay.
That is the best cyclone forecast center at that time. So I took it as a benchmark. What is being done there? What are the instrumental systems? What is the modeling system? What is the standard operation procedure? How the people are being warned? So all these things I took off. What is their forecast accuracy? And accordingly, I prepared and gave the presentation. So he was impatient to listen to all these things, a young boy speaking like this, and he told Ramesh, Ramesh, you just note down what he is saying. How can he do all these things? I will see next year. So that again became another challenge to me. And I was afraid my secretary is giving me a challenge. So I came back again. I want to my support, Dr. Ajit Tyagi was appointed as DG IMD in 2008. So he was from Indian Air Force. So he supported me, everything. And he also gave another challenge. He asked me, how is the forecasting joint typhoon warning center? I told like this. Then why don't you do like that? So he gave me this challenge. I told, yes, I will do that. And in 2008, first cyclone ward which came to Sri Lanka in December 2008, I gave a forecast similar to joint typhoon warning center forecast, showing the track of the cyclone, intensity of the cyclones, where it will hit, at what time it will hit. All these details were given in text and graphics format. So that was the beginning of the opportunity and challenge I met, and thereafter the story went on, and one after another all the components of cyclone warning system was developed. I wrote the vision 2020 as expected by Dr. Shailesh Nayak, then Secretary, Minister of Earth Sciences. He asked me to write the vision 2020 for cyclone.
Which year was that?
It was 2010.
2010.
So it was published in 2010. Then I again updated in 2015, then again 2020. Now recently, when Honorable Prime Minister dedicated Vision 2047, that was prepared with all people, of course, supporting.
So
the
from
country.
99 to now,
Yes.
27 years, how has cyclone prediction helped in India?
Oh,
How
there
has
has
it grown?
been a paradigm shift. Okay, in 99, if you just look at, we did not have sufficient surface observations in the country even, and it was, I will say, 1 in 150 kilometers, and now we have got surface observations, say 1 in 30 kilometers. Similarly, there was no meteorological buoys in Bay of Bengal Arabian Sea, but now we have got 20 buoys. We have got 30 ships, dedicated ships.
30 dedicated ships?
Ships by the Minister of Earth Sciences to take observations near the coast.
Okay.
Then we did not have any Doppler radar. First Doppler radar came in 2002. Now we have got 49 Doppler radars in the country. There was one satellite at that time giving forecast every 3 hours, and forecast, not forecast, the cyclone image. And that image was not available as we get now. It was taken, printed in a sodium paper. You cannot just analyze that sodium paper to identify the convective clouds and the center of the cyclone, intensity of the cyclones. So these are the limitations at that time in terms of the meteorological observation. There was no automated weather stations or automated N gauges. So there was no ICT as such at present. We are communicating data through telegrams and teleprinters and telex. And now we have got the internet and MatNet, you have got the social media. There are so many. You have got VSAT, so many things. Similarly, for warning dissemination, at that time, if I remember, I was in Bhubaneswar. So we are preparing every 3 hour cyclone warning at that time also. But it has been typed. Every bulletin, 10 people will be typing the bulletins, and after typing, it will be communicated by telegram. Say, for example, cyclone is coming towards Mayurbhanj district. We are sending a telegram to Mayurbhanj. It will reach in Baripada in 6 hours. And cyclone moves with the speed of say 15 kilometers per hour. In 6 hours, it has moved about 90 to 100 kilometers. So therefore, people feel after getting the information that cyclone is moved away. Now we are getting information from IMD. So these are the status of multi-early warning system. If I remember, one important magazine, Frontline, at that time, Mr. Ramachandran, he was very senior reporter. He wrote, "It is a scientific failure for the country." It was not simply IMD's failure. It was a scientific failure of the country. We failed in terms of not only meteorological observations, modeling, forecasting, and early warning, but also we failed in dissemination, we failed in capacity building, we failed in bringing out the capacity of the individual and the institutions. At that time, there was no, for example, NDMA. At that time, there was no NIDM. At that time, there was no SDMAs or DDMAs. So all this, I will say, the Odisha super cyclone was mother of all these inventions and discoveries, and supported by, of course, the Bhuj earthquake. All these institutional mechanism in the country came up, and then multi-hazard early warning system was aimed at. It was decided that the World Bank will take over and for the National Cyclone Risk Mitigation Project. Perhaps you know that. But when it came at that time, IMD decided that yes, fourth component, that is early warning system, will be carried out, and IMD will be involved with that. But afterwards, it was decided that in 2006, Minister of Earth Science was formed, and it decided that we should go for modernization of IMD, and modernization took off in 2007, and cyclonic system modernization was taken up during that. And I was the project director for weather forecasting and project director for cyclone warning improvement. And that was taken up, and we came up with a modernized forecasting system for the first time in 2009. So the story of improvement cyclone forecasting and other improvements.
So you've been involved with it.
Yes, I was the project director for that.
Excellent. That's an amazing experience. You've done a lot for the country.
But the real breakthrough which people came to know, that came in 2013, the Cyclone Phailin.
Okay.
It was a very intense cyclone, and we predicted that genesis and track and intensity. We told that it will cross near Gopalpur on 12th October and with a speed of 200 to 220 kilometers per hour wind speed, and gusting up to 240 kilometers per hour. That is our forecast. But Joint Approaching Center, USA and other bodies, they were telling that it will be very intense, 340 kilometers per hour wind speed. And they were watching our forecast. They told, and they gave a complaint to Government of India that IMD is underestimating. It will be such and such intensity, it can create catastrophic devastation. So I was under pressure. I was just scientist E at that time. Okay, so then VC and DMA contacted me. I was taking briefing, and we are giving briefing to National Crisis Management Committee meeting. On 11th in the evening, I was briefing. All media was almost real-time broadcasting the statement given by IMD and other agencies like NDTV and Times Now. They were giving parallels. IMD is telling this, other agency telling this, just like election discussions. So finally, so happened on 11th October, Dr. Sasidhar Reddy, then chairman of the NDMA, he contacted me. He told Dr. Mohapatra, you tell me why you are so much stubborn, you are not changing your forecast. you are continuing the same forecast that will go to Gopalpur, and speed also you are telling 200, 220 kilometers per hour, while others are telling it will be 340 kilometers per hour. He is an engineer.
Okay.
So I explained him 3 points. So I can share with you. The first one, I told you that the cyclone is undergoing an eye wall replacement cycle. So eye wall replacement cycle is a phenomenon which occurs in very rarely in the cyclones. So what happens there? First, single eye will develop. Then as the cyclone intensifies gradually, the eye wall surrounding the eye will oppose the winds entering into the center. Okay, so it will moving such faster speed that it will not allow other winds to enter inside. So by that what happens, others who are coming from the outside, they will make another circle outside, and there will be an area between the inner eye wall and the outer eye wall. That will be cloud free. So that is called as the double eye structure.
Double eye structure.
So in the double eye structure, cyclone intensity will be maximum.
Okay.
But once the double eye forms, that means you got the outer eye wall formed, the inner eye wall will not get the support now.
Okay.
So gradually, therefore, the inner eye will collapse. Once inner eye collapses, the outer eye and inner eye will merge, so eye size will increase. Now the cyclone will weaken. Now at that time, this phase, that is weakening phase, was in place. And cyclone was in the evening, 11th evening, it was very close, within 500 kilometers or so, near the coast. So therefore, there is no further chance for again re-intensification cyclone. So that is one of the most important reasons I explained to him. Second point I told, in the predicted path of the cyclone when it's moving towards Gopalpur, there is an area where it is very cold ocean.
Okay.
There was an area. Because of in the forward sector rainfall is going on, it has become colder. Now once cyclone moves towards that path, it will get less energy. So therefore, there is no question of further intensification. Third point I told, already the rainfall has started near Odisha coast. That is telling that outer shell of the cyclone is interacting with the land surface. So these are the 3 reasons why the cyclone will not further intensify, rather cyclone will weaken as it moves towards the coast. So he got convinced, and finally I was really perturbed on that day, so much pressure, and never I told earlier to the DG that I need your support. On that day I told Rathore Sahab, sir, if required at night I will disturb you. And usually I do not sleep on the day for landfall, but I did not disturb him. And next time morning he also come early, and I went come early. When I reached office, I got the message from my forecaster, sir, JTWC has weakened the cyclone.
Excellent.
And they have come up towards our intensity, what we defined. And finally our forecast went right, and the forecast from other agencies went wrong.
So this is the milestone, 20.
This is a milestone. At night, 2 o'clock on the 12th October, Dr. Sashidhar Reddy Sahab sent a message at that time that you have proved India right, US wrong.
Great, excellent, sir. That's a fascinating story. So one more question on cyclones, then we'll move to one or two others. Is that you had once had a lecture you were delivering at Vigyan Bhavan. I think we had called you for one of our workshops in NDMA. You had explained that now cyclones are hanging around at landfall space. So the area on which they are there and the time and duration they are there is expanding. What is the reason for all that?
Yeah, actually we have studied the impact of climate change on the tropical cyclones in different ocean basins. It is published in Bureau of Meteorological Society, that is American Met Society, BAMS paper. And there we analyzed the characteristics in different basins, including Bay of Bengal and Arabian Sea. What we found that in the Bay of Bengal, cyclones are moving slowly as compared to the previous speed. So just imagine, a cyclone is a giant system. It is the size of 100 to 1000 kilometers. From the center, outer wall, if you consider the most devastating area, is about 100 kilometers. So when cyclone is crossing the coast, when the outer eye wall is touching the coast, the devastation starts. Then when center is close to coast, maximum. Then another 50% of the cyclone moves and devastation continues. Let us consider a cyclone with an eye diameter of 50 kilometers. and cyclone normally moves with a speed of 15 kilometers per hour. So therefore, for the eye to completely go inside, and which is the representative of the most devastating period, will take 3 hours. Now, if the cyclone moves slowly, say 10 kilometers per hour, now it will take, instead of 3 hours, 5 hours. So therefore, the slow-moving cyclone, which has been the characteristics because of the impact of the climate change in recent decades, will have more devastating impact along the coastal areas with the same intensity of the cyclone, because it will cause more rainfall, it will cause more storm surge, and also the same wind speed will continue for 5 hours instead of 3 hours. So therefore, even the impact of climate change suggests that the frequency of tropical cyclones are not increasing over the Bay of Bengal. Landfalling cyclones frequency is also not increasing, but the extremely severe cyclone storm frequency almost remains same. So therefore, the vulnerability for the coast, even though there is no increase or intensity or the number,
It's still
is still increasing because of the slow movement of the cyclones. Apart from that, as all of us know, the coastal area is progressing rapidly. So therefore, the same economic or socio-economic infrastructures are more exposed, and hence the vulnerability is
So
increasing.
the duration of rain they will suffer during cyclone would be for a longer period of time.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Not only duration, climate change impact suggests in a low pressure system there will be 10 to 15% increase in intensity of rainfall. Similarly, the storm surge. Say, for example, in a particular cyclone, you are getting storm surge of 2 meter height above astronomical tide. But you have got the sea level rise, which is about 3 millimeter per year, and that sea level rise is not affecting us on day-to-day basis. But when there is a tropical cyclone impacting a land surface or moving over an island, this combined impact of the sea level rise and the storm surge will create the havoc.
Okay.
So therefore, at least 10 to 15% improvement in tidal waves due to tropical cyclones because of this combined effect.
Okay, amazing. And what about the Arabian Sea with regard to cyclones?
Yeah, in the Arabian Sea, cyclone frequency is not decreasing. Rather, there is slight increase, and especially if I look at very intense cyclones, say wind speed of 160 kilometers per hour, those intense cyclones are increasing over Arabian Sea since 1990s.
1990. Is there any particular reason for that?
Yeah, because of the impact of the climate change.
Okay.
So there are diverging opinions, but in general, it can be attributed with low confidence that it is happening because of the climate change. But another point is that these cyclones, which develop for Arabian Sea, they move northwestwards. Our latest study says that the frequency of landfalling cyclones are increasing in Arabia, Africa. So more cyclones are moving towards Arabia, Africa.
Okay, so they should consult us.
Yes, like Oman, Yemen. Okay. Yeah, they are in touch. India Meteorological Department acts as a regional specialized meteorological center for tropical cyclones, and we provide every day tropical weather outlook, and during cyclone period every 3 hours tropical cyclone advisory is provided to all the countries starting from Yemen, Somalia to Oman, then UAE, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Qatar, and then Pakistan, then here India, of course, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Sri Lanka, Maldives, 13 countries.
So IMD is a member of that consortium and you supply for these 13 countries?
Yes, we act as a regional center.
So what kind of information do you give every 3 hours?
So we give the current status of the tropical cyclones or depressions, and it is expected movement, expected intensity, at what time it will hit the coast, with what intensity, what will be its impact in terms of the wind, impact in terms of the storm surge, rainfall, etc. All this guidance is provided, but warning we do not issue, because warning issuance is the responsibility of the concerned state.
And warning can come from satellite pictures, satellite imagery, remote sensing, and ground systems.
No, warning does not come from them. Satellite pictures, radar pictures, they all provide the real-time observations. And these observations have two utilities. One is the real-time analysis to find out what is the current status of the weather system. And you can go for persistence for a few hours. But you cannot provide the forecast for day together. For this purpose, you have got the models. For example, we have got around more than 10 models are utilized during cyclone period. And these models are run in the morning and evening, sometimes the 4 times. And we have come up with a multimodal ensemble forecasting system, which is a consensus system. And we have got our own multi-hazard early warning decision support system. It is completely indigenous, and therefore we do not depend upon any other. Otherwise, we provide the support to others. So with that system, forecast is generated and early warning is developed, and we have come up with that cyclone warning dissemination system, including common alert protocol, and also under NCRMP, that hazard vulnerability and risk assessment system is also in place.
Okay. So you just mentioned 10 models at the peak you used during cyclone period. So all the things that you've told us, the combination of the highs and the lows of El Nino, the IOD, the Tibetan anticyclone, snow cover, there are some 9 or 10 things you counted. So the ups and the downs and the highs and the lows, to bring them all together, you need very, very detailed mathematics. So what was your exploration from the beginning of your start in government service with mathematics? Like, you must have had computers to start with in the beginning?
Yeah, when I completed my MSc in physics from Utkal University, at that time, computer was not taught. But a new course just came up that year, that is Diploma in Computer Applications, DCA, PGDCA. So I took the admission there. But because of my domestic requirement, because our financial condition was not good, I got selected in DRDO, in interim tester in Chandipur. So I joined there as a scientific assistant and left this computer course. But when I was working there, I was given the responsibility of CCTV and fiber optics communication. And we established the entire launch system at that time. And we were laying the cables, how to remember these cables, which is going from where and there, just like in Department of Telecommunication. So I was given the responsibility to prepare the data card. I utilized at that time the Lotus 123, if you remember. And that was my beginning of the computer knowledge. And with that, for every junction box, I prepared the data cards. And whenever there was any trouble, to shoot the troubleshooting, and then the data card was referred, and the connectivity was assured. So that was the beginning of my computer life. Then finally, when I joined IMD, at that time also,
You must have bought your own computer?
Yeah, I bought one computer afterwards. But we were taught one language called Fortran during our training in 1992. And after that, I was posted in Bangalore. There was no computer there. People are still working with the typewriter to prepare the bulletins and etc. So I purchased computer. Afterwards, when I came to Bhubaneswar, I purchased first computer on my own to carry out my research work. But before that, when I was in Bangalore, so it was my first posting, and almost it was month of October and November, and almost on alternative day there was fog in the roadway. So there was no such good forecast for the fog. And pilots came one day to the director of the Meteorological Center, and they lodged a complaint. Then director called me. I was young, and he called me. Is it a fact that we are not able to predict fog? Well, yes, we are not able to predict fog. And then he did not tell me anything. I also did not tell anything. But that point actually created some kind of curiosity and challenge in my mind. I went back. I was doing roster duty, that is day and night duty. After night duty, I got 2 days rest. So how much rest I will take? So I took the main meteorological register for last 10 years from our climatology division of Met Center, Bengaluru, and noted down into notepads, and then
noted down all the entries.
Every 3-hour observations of the cloud cover, dry bulb temperature, dew point, wet bulb temperature, wind speed, wind direction, relative humidity, etc.
For 10 years?
For 10 years.
By hand?
By hand.
Okay.
And after that, I got the first salary. And with that first salary, I went to the market nearby. There are many bargaining markets. I purchased one scientific calculator.
Okay.
So people go to temple, or people go to parents to hand over the first salary, but I utilized my first salary to purchase a calculator.
Excellent.
And I utilized that calculator to do the statistical analysis, like correlation, regressions, etc. and developed the methodology to predict fog over Bangalore airport. And now also that methodology utilized, and I utilized at that time to predict fog at least 3-4 hours in advance. At night, say for example, 23:30 one day, I told that there will be dense fog with visibility reducing to 200 meters, and it was correct. And my personal assistant was there. He was challenging me, how can you predict like this? I told, okay, please wait. This is my methodology. And that came correct. Therefore, people believed, and it was. So that was my first research as a meteorologist, to predict fog, to understand fog. And therefore, I say every challenge begets an opportunity.
Yes, definitely.
And I have taken up that opportunity.
So in the IMD, you have how many scientists now?
So around 220 scientists are there.
And
in IMD at
in
present.
the other associated institutions?
There will be around 100 or 150 in other institutions in Ministry of Arts Sciences.
So, no, so in the, there are some 5-6 institutions under IMD also, no?
No, I am talking about 2020 in entire IMD.
Okay.
So IMD is a big organization. Total strength will be around 4,500, and it has got headquartered at New Delhi. We have got weather forecasting main functionality in Delhi, and climatological activity are taken up in Pune, climate research and developments. Then we have got every state a meteorological center, and 6 regions we have got regional meteorological center for administrative cooperation. Each airport has got a meteorological office. No aircraft can fly without IMD's weather forecast.
Okay.
It is very much essential as per the requirement of International Civil Aviation Organization. Similarly, each port office takes the forecast for us. And nowadays, perhaps there is no such sector which is left out who is not utilizing IMD's forecast. So therefore, we have got the aviation offices, we have got hydrometeorological offices, we have got our port meteorological offices, and also we have got agrometeorological offices. At present, we have got agrometeorological field units in different universities. We have got the certain district agrometeorological units. Then also we have got observatories. Around 550 observatories are there across the country. Out of that, around 200 are manned by IMD, and remaining are manned by the state governments and research institutes, etc. And they provide the data.
So this must be many more people. This is all 4,500.
It is just 4,500.
And of these, scientists are 220, and the rest are?
Rest are scientific assistants, then meteorologist A, meteorologist B, that is group B cadre officials.
Okay.
And also we have got group C cadre administrative staffs.
Okay, so when all of them are science graduates, basically. So I also have heard, and you once called me to a function where that booklet was released, that in this country we will not know at what time and date to do Holi, Diwali, Eid, Bakrid. So there is something that IMD has to got to do with it. Please tell us about
Yes,
that.
you reminded me. Many people might not be knowing the positional astronomy is a science, and it is a very old science in our country. And India Meteorology Department is responsible for that. We have a positional astronomical center in Kolkata. Its job is to prepare the calendars, and the calendars prepared every year, and it is provided in local languages to all the states and users. And whatever calendars you find in the state level by different astrologers, they actually prepare based on the calendar given by India Meteorological Department. And along with that, they adopt certain informations based on the local festivals, etc. But otherwise, be it the full moon day or the new moon day, that information is provided. But the time of sunrise, time of sunset, time of moonrise, time of moonset, all these are provided by IMD. You can find out all these details in the website, in the open access website. Similarly, the solar eclipse, lunar eclipse, any astronomical phenomena, that information is also provided by IMD.
This is that document called Panchang.
Panchang is based on IMD's calculation.
Panchang is based on IMD's calculation.
Yes.
That document comes out once a year.
Yes.
So that means we cannot practice any religion in India without you. Very interesting.
Yeah, there are, of course, some other conventional methods may be there, but scientific method of calculation and deciding the various astronomical features is governed by the IMD's Positional Astronomical Center.
Excellent, excellent knowledge. So now, 2 last questions. One is, what is the weather patterns of countries surrounding us like Pakistan, China, and Bhutan, Nepal, Bangladesh? What is there? Are they similar to ours?
Yeah, mostly if you look at the climate of the region is the monsoonal climate. So climate of South Asia is almost similar. Say Pakistan, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Maldives, India, Myanmar, all these are very much natural in commonality. And also Southeast Asia also will have the Southeast monsoon. They have got, just like we have got two types of monsoons, Southeast monsoon and Northeast monsoon, they also have the similar characteristics of monsoons. But if you consider China, the northern parts of China is extratropical in nature, but in southern parts of China, they also experience similar type of weather, monsoonal climate. Also, they also experience the tropical cyclones, like we also experience tropical cyclones. So, apart from that, there is a difference between the weather of, say, China or to the north of Himalayas and south of Himalayas. So, you have got the cold climate to the north of Himalayas, and you have got the warm, moist climate to the south of Himalayas. So, in general, while South Asia or Southeast Asia has larger commonality, and Chinese climate differs from Indian climate to the north of the Himalayas. But southeastern part of China has similar behavior with respect to Indian climate. But if you go to more specific classifications, there are 131 agroclimatic zones in our country itself.
Okay, that's massive, massive. So now to our last question. So all of us want to know what the weather is going to be tomorrow or today. So many of these apps come on the phones. So which are the IMD apps you would say that people should look at?
So actually we have come up a long way. We just imagine we read that morning shows the day. So that means a common man believed in the practice that whenever he gets up from the bed, he looks at the sky to find out what is the weather now and what the weather will be for the day. That was the way of forecasting. But now people do not look at the sky. They look at their own mobile app before getting up from the bed or after getting up from bed. They look at the mobile to find out what is the weather today and what will be the weather tomorrow. So for this purpose, we have come up with the Mosam mobile app. So which provides all types of information with respect to day-to-day weather, severe weather warnings, specific weather for different special sectors. Within that, you can find out Meghdoot. Meghdoot is a mobile app initially prepared separately, but now it is integrated with the Mosam mobile app. It provides special information for agriculture purpose for the farmers. Then we have got Damini. Damini is a mobile app which provides information about the current occurrence of lightning and the predicted lightning for say half an hour to 35 minutes. Also, our mobile app is connected with Umang, that is central government mobile app. There also our information is available. So what we have done actually, we have made it one mobile app, unified mobile app, Mosam. So I request through you, the people, please download Mosam mobile app. It has got all information what you need. There we have come up with a special information called as the Mosam Gram. Mosam Gram is very unique. If you click anywhere in the mobile app, in the public weather, in the Mosam Gram, you will get a forecast up to 10 days. Okay. Or otherwise, you can write the name of your place, you will get a forecast up to 10. Any place, be it in Bay of Bengal or Arabian Sea or Himalayas, you will get a forecast. You can write the name of Panchayat or the block or Tahsil or your village, you will get a forecast. So that is in a way moving us towards the final objective of Har Mausam, Har Ghar Mausam. And every household should have access to weather information at any time, anywhere in this place. So this is the vision, and towards the vision we are looking at with collaboration with various organizations like say Ministry of Panchayat Raj. That Panchayat Mausam Seva is being provided, forecast is at every Panchayat level, forecast is going to every Panchayat member, ward member, Sarpanch, and also Panchayat Secretary. Similarly, with the Ministry of Rural Development, we are reaching out to Pasu Sakhi and Krishi Sakhi, the women who are getting this information in local language and providing to all people in the area. Similarly, we have come up with the 2 crore farmers connected with IMD directly through WhatsApp.
Okay.
So every day, any severe weather information related to agriculture, any information is being provided to them in
Excellent.
local language.
You don't
All
need
this
a-
information provided local language.
Excellent.
And whenever there is some kind of activity going on, say cyclones or heavy rainfall or heat waves, etc., our local offices are generating videos, small videos in the local languages. So objective has been to reach out. But finally, I will say there has been a massive breakthrough with implementation of the Common Alert Protocol. In the Common Alert Protocol with the NDMS initiative, people are getting information in their mobile, be it smartphone or non-smartphone. Because other things, mobile app, etc., are available with the smartphone only. But Common Alert Protocol is reachable with any person with any phone. That is one thing. Then recently, when the Real Commissioners meeting was there, the cell broadcasting has been inaugurated. That is another breakthrough. So by which not only there will be information in local language to the individual people, but also to reach in time and to reach the targeted people. So therefore, this is the endeavor India is moving through, and which is ascertaining the resilience of the community, the people, and the government in view of the increasing frequency and intensity of various types of natural hazards.
Thank you, thank you. So it was a fascinating conversation with Dr. Mohapatra today, and the complexities with which you have to predict the weather, we can only empathize with you. It's not an easy job, and the models, the supercomputers that you have and you use, that is something that the country is quite grateful to you. So thank you so much for coming today.
Thank you very much.